Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy, Captain Sinbad. I want to talk to you guys about wet dreams because a lot of you do seem to have questions about them. So, have I had a wet dream on this journey? Yes, I had my first one about a week ago. I think I was on about day 130 at the time, but it was a dreamless wet dream. It was a dreamless emission. And according to the practice of brahmacharya, that book by Swami Sivananda, there's a huge difference between a release in a dreamless state as opposed to a release when you have a sort of a dream, like a sexual dream. And listen, if you just look at the energetic cost of different types of release, a full-blown PMO release would cost you about 35 days, right? It takes about 35 days for your food to turn into chyle, your chyle to turn into flesh, your flesh to turn into bone, your bone to turn into marrow. There's 7 layers of filtration that happen between food and turning into the vital fluid, turning into your virya. And so that process takes about 35 days in a young man and maybe up to 60 days in an older man. So that is the energetic cost of a PMO release, or a release in that capacity. But these emissions that happen in your sleep, they're a little less draining. So because mine was in a state of dreaming, it probably only cost about 5 days max. What happens is that you lose the prostatic fluid, so it's as opposed to the actual vital essence. And I'm not coming up with this on my own. It's a result of words that had come out of the text. And so don't worry too much about these releases that happen. But also on another capacity, know that when you have a release, if you have too frequent of a emission, it sort of means that you haven't been transmuting. In an energetic capacity, you still have money that's been left on the table. And so that's also something you maybe want to consider, You should be doubling down on your sadhana. If you have these energetic releases, you should be doubling down on your sadhana. You should be perhaps meditating more, or trying some pranayama routines, a bit of fasting. So that's also something to keep in mind. And the last point I want to leave you with regards to nocturnal emissions is that you're focusing on the wrong thing. I would much rather have you be a guy who focuses on his goals rather than gets caught up step by step worrying about your actual day count. Right? If you were to just go 100% monomaniacal on your goals as opposed to just your day count, the returns would be better. So I'm gonna leave it right there, my friends. But a wet dream always is maybe a drain, but if it happens during a state of dreamlessness, then it's something that's less energetically draining. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.